Hi guys, this is another video, and this time I'd like to talk about different patients and different staff members that you get in psychiatric hospitals and psych wards. So you'll find these type of patient and these types of staff members in every fucking psych ward. Not all at the same time, but there's usually you always see them. Um, so I'd like to do patients first, and the first one that you always see is the pacer. Now that's myself. I am the pacer. Just constantly pacing up and down the corridors, doing laps and laps and laps. Never gets tired. Usually has headphones in that always listens to music and singing along and that. The next one is the one who always plays games. So you always find it's usually in CAMS, but I found it in adult hospitals as well. You usually have someone that's always playing cards or always playing board games or fucking whatever. Yeah, that's you always find them. Another one is the one who never leaves. So it's not the one that who never leaves, but it's the one that is always there when you're there, and so you basically think that they never leave. They've either been there for ages, and then they've been there the whole time you've been in and out, or they come back, they go out, then they come back, then they get discharged, and they come back. The one who's always on a 3741, you always find, especially pretty much always in adult hospitals, there's always someone on a 3741, always. Now that's a criminal section. So if you've committed a crime in the community, and sort of you get found not guilty by reason of insanity, you get put on a 3741, which is basically the MOJ and the Ministry of Justice controls whether you go into hospital, come out, whether you get leave, stuff like that. The next one is the one that's always been put on OBS. So you find always in a hospital, there's always one person who's constantly either on OBS the whole time or comes off them and goes straight back on them, comes off them, goes straight back on them. Find that a lot. Now in adults, you always find there's an older fella who everybody loves. I remember in this admission there was one fella, and I won't say his name, but he was mint. He would kick off because he wanted a fag, and as soon as the staff member said, "Away, I'll take you out for a fag," he used to change completely and be smiling and that. And there was one thing he used to always say. He used to go, I shagged the woman on Top Gear. And you're like, there's no woman on Top Gear? And he's like, no, I shagged her. He was funny as fuck. But you always get the one old person that everybody loves. The next one is, you always find the one person that's always first in queue for either food or meds or both. They're literally, like, fucking they're there, like, a minute to fucking whatever time meds or food time is. They're there bang on the dot. Then you have the manic one. Now that's the one that comes in and they're just off the fucking rails, off the tits, and they're just fucking, going crazy. You have the one that's always going to A&E. You always have one that's constantly backwards and forwards to A&E, doing self-harming and that, and just constantly going to A&E. That's probably just me, that one. I'll have to admit it, but you always find one that does. The one that stinks, you always find there's a patient that stinks of either BO or their feet stink or something like that. And the last one is the one who always checks the doors. So in hospital you have doors that are locked and doors that aren't locked. And the ones that are locked are usually for patient safety. so they're constantly checking the doors, you know what I mean? I do that a lot, to be fair. And then you've got staff members, different staff members you find. There's always the tidier or the cleaner, constantly wiping stuff down, constantly fucking sorting out the office and the fucking staff room or whatever. The old one that's always meant to have retired and then come back. You always get at least one. They usually really sound and really good at what they do, because usually they come back because they just care about the patients. They're really caring and they just want to do it because they care about people. Now there's two I'd like to talk about here, which is just the two sides of the same coin, which is, or not two sides of the same coin, but opposites basically. Just one's the opposite of the other. I think maybe it's two sides of the same coin, so right? I don't know. So you have the one who won't bend or break the rules, never, and then you've got the one who's always bending the rules. So the one that always lets you have cheeky fags or, you know, stuff like that. And you have the one, the guy, it's usually a male, that's constantly going boop, 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 like playing the trumpet with his mouth. Fucking does me head in, that guy. Then you have the staff member that's always checking the doors, going around checking that the locks and stuff like that. Or make sure, even if it's a self-locking door and they know it's a self-locking door, they constantly check it to see if it's locked. Then you have the one that's always saying they don't have favourites, but every patient knows exactly who their favourite is. Always. This is quite a harsh one, but you have the one that nobody likes, basically. Bit of a dick, bit of a just strict for the sake of being strict, you know what I mean? So yeah, you always find one that nobody likes. The one who's constantly telling you that they are staff and not your friend. I find that always you get a one or two in hospital that say, oh, but we have to be seen to be staff, you know, we can't be seen to be having a friendship with the patients and stuff like that. And it's like, it's not a friendship, because when we're discharged from here, we're not going to keep in contact with you. You know what I mean? That would be inappropriate. But having a good crack on in that with patients and being, you know, friendly with them, that's not fucking inappropriate. The one who cuts everybody's hair. Now you find this with a patient and a staff member. There's usually one that is always shaving people's heads and shaving the beards and stuff like that. And then the last one is the one that never wears proper uniform. There's a couple in here at the moment that does that. They've always got, like, if it's a female, they've always got leggings on, or they've always got the wrong shoes on, or they refuse to wear the tunics. They always wear like fucking polo shirts or stuff like that. So yeah, it was a short video of this one, but I thought you might like it. You know, give you a bit of insight into hospital and what it's like, and the different people you get in here. So yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.